I remember the sound of rain hitting the windshield. It was the night of December 21st, 2025, the night everything ended for me. The world outside was quiet. I had just left work late, exhausted, scrolling through my phone, when headlights blinded me out of nowhere. There was a crash, metal twisting, glass shattering, the smell of burning rubber, and then silence. I didn't feel pain, only weightlessness. My eyes opened, but not in my body. I was floating above the wreck, watching paramedics pull someone out of the car. I realized it was me. My first thought wasn't fear, it was confusion. I tried to speak, but no sound came out. And then a light appeared, not like the light of the world, but something alive. It was warm, intelligent, infinite. As I drifted closer, I felt every memory, every emotion of my life wash over me, not as punishment, but as understanding. Every act of kindness, every moment of selfishness, every word I had spoken, it all echoed back to me. And then, from the center of that light, I heard a voice, deep, gentle, but filled with authority. It said, "Your time has not ended. You must see what comes after this age." Before I could respond, I felt myself falling, fast, through darkness, through time itself. When I opened my eyes again, I was in a hospital room. Machines beeped softly. The smell of antiseptic filled the air. For a moment, I thought I had survived the crash. Then I looked around. The equipment looked different, sleeker. The lights were cooler, almost metallic, and on the far wall was a digital calendar. It read March 18th, 2042. I laughed at first. It had to be a glitch. But when I asked the nurse what day it was, she said it calmly, as if it were nothing strange. 2042, she repeated. You've been unconscious for a long time. I stared at my hands. They looked the same. No wrinkles, no signs of age. 17 years had passed, but my body hadn't changed. She explained that I had been found in an abandoned medical facility, still connected to old machines that hadn't worked in over a decade. There was no record of me existing in any database. To the world, I was a ghost. As I tried to understand, I began having flashes, visions, cities on fire, oceans turning black, people wandering under skies of red dust, and above them all, a blinding pillar of light descending from the heavens. At night, when I tried to sleep, that same voice returned. Tell them what you see. The hospital released me after weeks of testing. I stepped out into a world that didn't feel like home. Technology was everywhere, screens embedded in walls, silent drones watching from the skies. But something deeper had changed. People's eyes. They looked empty, cold, as if the fire of the human spirit had gone out. When I asked about faith, most just laughed. That's ancient history, they said. No one believes in that anymore. But then, strange things began happening. At exactly 3:00 a.m. every night, I'd wake up to a sound, a deep hum, like the earth itself groaning. When I looked outside, I'd see a glow rising from the horizon. One night, I followed it. I walked for hours through silent streets until I reached what looked like a temple made of glass and steel. People were gathered there, eyes fixed on the sky. Above the temple, a massive beam of light pierced the clouds, the same light I had seen when I died. Within it, I saw shapes, human figures, radiant, watching us, and the voice returned again. The time of silence is over. The final days have begun. I fell to my knees. Some people screamed. Others raised their hands as if worshipping whatever was in the sky. Then, in a flash, the light vanished. The city went dark. When I woke, I was back in a hospital bed, the same one as before. But now the calendar read December 22nd, 2025. The doctors said I had been dead for 6 minutes. 6 minutes in their world, 17 years in mine. Since that day, I've tried to move on, but something inside me has changed. When I look at the night sky, I still see faint streaks of light moving across the clouds. Sometimes when I close my eyes, I hear that voice again, whispering words I don't understand, but one phrase always repeats, prepare. The world you know will not last. I don't know if what I saw was the future or a warning, but I do know this. The peace I felt in that light, it was real. The love was real. And I believe the message wasn't just for me. It was for all of us. Because maybe, Just maybe God allowed me to step into the final days, so I could come back and tell you, it's not too late yet, but the clock is running out,